What's up, everybody, and thanks for tuning in to the Y.O.D Podcast with the one and only Tough is Good, Smart is Better. Are you coachable? Choose to succeed. And then, Ajahn, Ruben. Find everything Y.O.D at www.theyodpodcast.com. Thanks for listening. Thanks for following, commenting, and sharing the Y.O.D Podcast. Here we go. Every fighter has their motivations, their goals within the fight, their ultimate goal to win the fight. In a recent interview with Brett Okamoto, hopefully I'm pronouncing his name right, and UFC champ Kamaru Usman, they talked about the satisfaction of breaking your opponent, the intimate experience of being in the octagon where only you and your adversary know the deal. Only you and your opponent know how hard you hit, how much they hurt, and how much you hurt them. Usman takes pride in breaking every one of his opponents and plans to do so at his upcoming fight, UFC 261. For you, Ajahn, having trained and cornered many great fighters, tell a story or two where you and your fighter knew you had broken your opponent.
Most recently was the last time when Diego fought. I don't know if you remember that. And I know it's like semi-pro level, but still it was good. And when he nailed whoever it was he was fighting with that one push kick, it literally looked like, because I know body language, and almost you could be a fan and not know a whole bunch, but you saw something change in that guy. And it's a version of, it's like the soul just leave the body and it's like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. And I think mainly because there's a certain pain that you feel, and you know if you get that again, you might not even be able to stand. Not necessarily the where you got, if you knocked out, you don't even know, you're just unconscious. Or if you dazed and you're dizzy, you're conscious and you're drunk and you know it. So you're in the ether world and you're conscious at the same time. But when you get that shot where you fully awake and things are shutting down, that's different. You just, you have to call it a day, and you know it. And it's so bad at that moment when you feel that, or you can see someone feel that, you're not even concerned with the win. You're thinking, I think I'd rather live.
Y.O.D. 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 Oh, you ain't heard about Y.O.D.
When a person feels that, and you can tell they're not even concerned with winning anymore. It's like, I need to survive. I need to live, fight another day. Ego and all that stuff goes right out the window. Like you just been dominated, and it's like, shit, man, it's your day, and that's that. It does happen. And then I want to say, out of fighters in the past, the one that sticks out the most is Fabian, when he was fighting, because that was an unusual guy. That he was so strong, and I want to say Fabian, he's one of the only guys I can think of that I think damn near knocked out a little bit more than half of his opponents throughout his entire time fighting. And that's in Muay Thai. And KOs don't come easy in that, because you got so many different weapons. Like you can dominate this kind of thing and beat up your opponent and hurt them, but to stop them over and over and over again is different. And you could see when he did it too. And you could just see the person just go, just forget it, And so I don't know. It's like I said, I've seen it. As far as, I guess, how you feel, the only thing I can equate is the times when I was helping a couple of top level guys get ready for whatever they were doing. And in my soul, in my mind, I knew I was better. And, but I never been one where I got something to prove. It does, for me, it's always been, and this perspective, so I got an insight is what I'm getting at here, is that I just want to better myself. I'm not concerned with everything anybody else, not with what you got going on and stuff. And, but the individuals, I could sense that they had a issue with me and they want to put me in my place. And I don't know, once I sense that, it's like, okay, then I feel that sense of, okay, you want to reduce me and make lesser of me. Okay, fine. My mind goes somewhere totally different. Ego is out the window. And granted, I had to feel justified in doing what I did. And I ate a couple of really good hard ass shots from the dude and I gave him fair warning. He didn't listen. And goddamn. I mean, the opening was there the entire time, but it wasn't about that. But the fact that he wanted to, for lack of a better phrase, shit on me in front of the fight team at that time. It's like, I knew in my soul that, man, you picked the wrong goddamn dude the wrong fucking day. I damn near snapped his neck. I hit him so fucking hard. Cracked his head rolled back, his eye rolled back in his head. And before he even hit the ground, I was cussing him out. I was so mad. So that feeling is, to dominate somebody that damn bad, I want to say, because I don't have that competitive spirit where I got to prove I'm better than you. That's not where I'm at. But I know there got to be some semblance in that. Where with me, I come from more of a warrior spirit, where it's like, no, it's my ass or yours. Where theirs is, well, it's not just that; it's the fighter spirit. I'm better than you, and this kind of thing. So there's a similarity. But the fact that when you break some damn body and it's 100%. However, your sense of justification for it, it's a different feeling. Like you, I mean, yeah, you feel good, but it's odd. It got a little euphoria to it, just a hint, and that's the thing. And at the same time, it's balanced because it could have gone the other way too. So it's not, especially when it's like at that level, you both know what you're doing. You both, there's no sandbagging, no cheating. No, it's like, all right, let's see who's the bad motherfucker right now, that kind of thing. So that's how it is.
You need to understand what goes on in that ring and in the street, not the same thing. You understand that, right? You're a fool if you don't.
Well, I got to add this piece though. There's depending on the history of the two people fighting at that moment, there's usually there's a sense of slight resentment if they're both like really alpha, because sometimes when that does happen, it could be a slip at that moment when the person knew they zig when they ought to zag, and they won't get back. And then that's when you get these are great part twos or the rematch, and then sometime when that does happen, it totally goes the other way. And then when that happens, it's like, all right, we're gonna get the best 2 out of 3. And they, that the trilogies. Now at the highest level, say when that does happen, that's when all of what you just said kicks in. Like it's 100%. You become brothers at that moment. It's just crazy. It's kind of like with the back and forth with Holyfield and Tyson, because if I remember the story right, when they were in the Olympics, and of course Evander was a light heavy and Tyson was heavy, and Manuel Stewart, I was listening to him talk a video or something, because of course they both 100% going on their way up, and they kept them separated for the longest time, but this one particular day they had to work on sparring. And good God, it went in the direction it wasn't supposed to. And he stopped. He's like, no. you know, and they said, you guys, you use each other, push each other up, not to break each other right here and now, because neither one wanted to give an inch. And so I don't know how many years later they turned pro, and then of course now he heavyweight, and they went at it. And there was resentment when they fought, no matter how wild and crazy it went. And then where you know, Tyson lost his mind and bit his ear, that whole, you know, thing. And he got dominated. But now we got all these years later, and actually not too long after that, it's like they buried the damn hatch and just became friends. Like it's just that moment of pushing to that edge. And there's this whatever primal piece of you, when you at that edge come out, well, it is what it is, and you let it be. But the fact that they grew beyond it, and there's been a few like that, you know, so it takes that, you know, like you get there, and then it's like, okay, well, that was that. And then there's some that just go on, and, you know, it's sad with Ali and Frazier. Frazier went to the grave hating Ali. And I think that messed with him for a bit. And I don't know, it's part of him, like who's the best fighter during the era, and they went the back and forth. But one thing that Frazier was really heartbroken about, because Ali called him Uncle Tom. So that, you know, during the race thing and during the 70s, I mean, it was, you know, the thickness of dealing with the civil rights at that time, and segregation. Like it was just heavy. And to have that said when you're suffering too from another Black man, and you both at your best, it just, because when they fought, they were like trying to kill each other, you know. So he never got past that. No matter how many times Muhammad apologized, he was letting them know, like, look, man, that helped with promotion and sold tickets, you know. I didn't mean you to take it that personal, but it cut him deep. So, but yeah, most people, you know, good, great, hard ass fight, win, lose, you're done with it. You just go get something to eat and drink and forget about it. But you got that onesie twosie though. So
yeah, sometimes words will cut deeper than the physical harm of anybody. So and it lasts longer, and people do indeed take it to their grave. Super fights. Everybody loves them. The most intriguing fight, the one at the moment, is John Jones, UFC champ and arguably the greatest ever, and Francis. I'm not going to butcher his name, so but everybody knows who he is, the current UFC heavyweight champ. With your extensive fighting knowledge and experience, your thoughts on both fighters, and who do you have if and when they do fight?
The Rocky movies do touch on a lot of what the physiology and drive and motivation stuff, that there's truth in the fight game. What I'm talking about, the one, I think it's Rocky 3 with Mr. T, the role he played, Clubberlang or whatever. And when Mickey, Rocky's old trainer, and he said, man, he said, you're more civilized. And he said, that guy's a wrecking machine. And he said, you don't have that bloodthirst that you did before. And so I see Francis as Mr. T, and Jones, I ain't gonna say like 100% like Rocky, but you know, how long has it been since Jones fought? How recent?
I want to say 6 months to a year, but I think that's only because he went up in weight class. So it wasn't because he was injured or anything like that. He just put it on weight.
Yeah. So it's such a, well, I'll say this piece right here, and this is what most people don't want to hear, especially fans, but either one can win. That's a obvious given. All it takes is the right person to get touched at the right moment. That's a given. But there's so many subjective moving parts here. As far as obviously stronger and more of a brute, it's definitely Francis. I think the one that's gutturally hungry and more naturally, he's not just coming to do the skillful fight, like he's coming to do serious damage and just don't give a shit. Francis, he's not coming for play, Francis. And I don't think that man is thinking about losing. And then Jones is a super champion, super competitor. You know, he definitely has the eye of the tiger. I don't know his spirit. I think that sometimes when you're so successful, there's a piece where you feel you just can't be beat anyway, which we know that's not true, but you can't, it's hard to change that psyche. If I want to go with who I feel has got the slight edge with all of that considered right now in the heavyweight division, I got to go with that guy, Francis. Not saying he's going to win, but he has, at the moment, I think more of the tangible and intangibles kind of leaning on his side. They both got the same, except that Francis is, in fact, that solid heavyweight. Jones kind of isn't, because his body, his peak performance has been at that lower weight. And there's going to be parts in him that want to do what he did at that lower weight. It's almost like you putting on a 40 or 50 pound weight vest. I don't care how snug it fits so it don't mess up when you move and you know, shimmer, but like really solidly fit. You can't move the same. You can do it, but you're going to be off. You're going to be slower. You're going to, you know, I mean, yet more leverage come behind what you're throwing, but you still got to get to the damn target to do so. So there's going to be some misfiring. And I think from what I saw, even with the training, like I said, I can see what others don't see. And I don't get into if I like you, I don't like you, or I favor this person. I can't. I've just been doing this too damn long. I actually see what's going on. And the dynamic, he's not the same. I saw that, like with like he's doing it, yeah, how he's doing what he's doing. He literally does look like someone that's right at 250 pounds doing. He looks like 250 pound version of himself at 205. What I'm saying is his mind, his psyche, everything is going to remember 205. But it's like, so if you're holding a 9mm and you pull the trigger and you do all the marksmanship stuff, side alignment, sight picture, breathe, relax, and all so stuff, aim, shoot, squeeze, or squeeze, shoot. Well, you put that 357, that fucking thing is heavy, it kicks harder. It's not the same. It's the same, but not the same. Does that make any sense?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So that's what I see. Like I said, they both can win, but I mean, I think Jones' biggest fight gonna be himself with his new body, trying to do what he is accustomed to doing. It's not gonna. It's just. I mean, that ain't gonna happen, but it'll be a version of it. So you know, I wouldn't bet either way, but I'm just saying that edge-wise, man, like my cut man Ron always said, it's either don't get in the ring and fight someone that's on a mission unless you're on a mission yourself. That means that you got to be in this weird state where you don't mind dying in the process if necessary. It's hard for a motherfucker to beat somebody when you're there. That's a whole different place. You can feel when someone is at that, I know it sounds a little crazy, kamikaze mindset. Like they come with everything in the kitchen sink and ain't nothing gonna stop them except to kill them, and they willing to die. That fucks with you a little bit. Like, yeah, like, hold up, this don't mean that much to me, man. You good, yo. And I don't know. I just get this sense from Francis, that's where he is. that's back to that. I mean, he's a wrecking machine, and he really not coming to play. I know. And I mean, I wish both of them the best, because my thing is, I love watching a great fight, and if it's in all honesty, a no bullshit draw, I'm cool with that, because you gave everything, and it was just enough where it's like, now you can't give the edge to either one. I mean, they fight like that, and neither one of them is ever the same after that, because you can't make your body do that again. And then, but win or lose, so long as it's 100% and it's fair, shit, because, you know, no oops, no aw shits, no, you know, judge leaning to one person or the other. Like, I mean, it's just as perfect as can be. It was managed right, and the win loser, this kind of thing, that's the shit right there. It's like all the best, because whoever the hell was that fucking guy at that moment, and everything is fair and everything is equal, there you go.